Hold on.
All right, Shalom, Shalom, brother. Hebrew Israelites, Tampa, St. Petersburg, Florida. We come in week out to prophesy the downfall of America and to bring our people back to their natural nationalities, which is Latinos, Negroes, the American people that consist of 12 tribes of Israel, that consist of 12 tribes of Israel. Without further ado, I'd like to give all glory, honor unto
Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash.
Double honor to the elders that teach this truth. Salutations to the brother pushing this truth on the four winds of the earth. Also the sisters acquiring the meekness, confusion of faces and children. Shalom.
Shalom, shalom. All through the spirit of power, Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash, Barakadash. Can you please give me 2nd Esdras, chapter 5, verse 1, and just hold that for me really quick? Make sure you be in the frame. Oh, there you go. You slopping, man. You slopping.
Ready?
All right, it says World War III is ramping up. The Bible is speaking, occupied in prophecy. All right, so what's going on over in the Middle East? That's biblical prophecy. There are many prophecies throughout the Bible, but today we're gonna particularly talking about what's going on over in the Middle East. All right, because there's history behind what's going on. And a lot of majority of Americans really don't know what the hell is going on. All they see is a new trend. You know, like when Ukraine got attacked, everybody's putting up Ukraine flag, Ukraine relief. Now that Israel has been attacked by Hamas, how often do you think you're going to hear them talk about Zelensky and Ukraine? All they're going to do is abandon Ukraine the same way America abandoned Afghanistan after 20 years. All right? The same thing they're going to do. Shalom, shalom. Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Kakadash. Word to God to you, brothers from across the borders. Alright? But before we get into that, we want to talk about those earthquakes that occurred in diverse places, because that's a biblical prophecy as well. So not only what's going on in the Middle East is biblical prophecy, also those 3 earthquakes that hit the same day on 3 different continents are also biblical prophecy, okay? And right here it shows, right? It says 120 people killed, 120 killed as earthquake hits 3 continents. All right, that's biblical prophecy. Go ahead, Doc.
This is 2nd Esdras 5 and 1. Nevertheless, as coming, the tokens, behold, the day shall come, that which dwell upon the earth shall be taken in great numbers.
Right. A day shall come that dwell upon the earth, they shall be taken in great numbers. So this is nothing compared to the slain of the Lord being many. Being taken in great numbers is like the flood. Well, billions died, not compared to thousands that died in an earthquake.
And the way of the truth shall be hidden.
And the way of the truth shall be hidden, right? But it's here to you openly. Go ahead.
And the land shall be barren of faith.
And the land shall be barren of faith. Because people really don't know what's going to go on, right, in the near future. So they really don't know where to put their trust, where should confidence, rather than in man. You know, like the scripture says, vain is the help of man. But we got our faith for the Lord, which is why we know what's going on in the Middle East. We know that the Lord is doing that because the elders been talking about that for years, let alone what happened in 1948 is proof. Okay? Go ahead up.
Verse 2.
Yep.
But iniquity shall be increased above that which now thou seest, or that thou hast heard long ago.
Right, so iniquity shall be increased as before and as long ago. Now you give me 2nd Esdras 9 and 1. So right now we live in a time where the Lord said, when he returned upon earth, shall he find faith on earth. Well, you see the faith through the men of the Lord, because going to the elders of Great Millstone, they're a prime example of faith. All right? Now, when you look at somebody who's a multi-millionaire, they have faith in everything they did. All right? When you think about people who are very successful in life, what they do, they cut out all the time they have for leisure. They don't have a lot of leisure. Their mind is occupied in their practice. That what sets them apart from everybody else, right? So that's why you don't have everyone being millionaires, billionaires. Rather than you paying them, they're paying you. So like when the scripture says faith is evidence of things hoped for, substance of things hoped for, evidence of things not seen. The next verse it says, by it the elders have a good report. So the elders of Great Millstone have a good report because they always been occupied in prophecy. Right? So go ahead, Doc.
This is 2nd Esdras 9 and 1.
9 and 1.
2nd Esdras 9 and 1. He answered me then said, Measure thy time diligently itself,
Slow down.
and when thou seest part of the...
Read it again. Bible Bashar. Slow down. Measure down the time.
The second Esdras 9:1. He answered me then said, measure thy time diligently itself, and when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before.
Right. It says, measure down the times diligently in itself. Right? See, we're not on man's time. We're on Yahweh Shai's time. Right? So when the Lord said, measure down the time, you measure the time by the prophecies. All right? You measure the time by the prophecies. So, like, going back to John the Revelator on Revelation, the 13th chapter, John the Revelator, he didn't know what the mark of the beast was. He didn't know what that was during that time. But then when you go 2,000 years, ahead in time, what do you get? You get people walking around with chips in their right hand and in their forehead. Right? That's what you got going on. That's how you measure the time diligently in the soul. Okay? Go ahead, up.
Second Esdras 9:2. Then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made.
Right, go ahead.
Verse 3. Therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world.
When there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world. So what happened? So you had the earthquakes that occurred in 3 different places in the earth. All right? So you see right here, there was a 6.3 earthquake that hit Afghanistan October 7th on the morning. Separate strong earthquakes hit 3 countries of Asia, Oceania, and Central America on Saturday and Friday night. So within the span of 24 hours, there was 3 earthquakes on 3 different continents. So that goes back to earthquakes in diverse places. All right? That was a prime example right there. Now going back into the Palestinian war, what's going on with Hamas, the Israel-Palestine war is Washington's fault. This is an article right here from RT. Right? In the U.S. condemnation, before I get that, I want you to get this from me really quick. Get this from me. Give me Matthew 24, 6 and 8. Just hold that on that really quick. Hold that on that. In the U.S., condemnation of the attack was unanimous and bipartisan. So they're talking about the attack of Hamas that happened over in Israel. As elected officials expressed their outrage at the loss of Israeli life. However, in all of these statements, not a single one recognized their own government's role in the attack. Because this is going back to 1948. Which a lot of these people don't even know what the hell is going on over there in the Middle East. All they see is Israel get attacked. They read the CNN propaganda, the Fox propaganda, and then everybody get on their Twitter feed, everybody get on their Facebook feed. Oh, save Israel, the same way they did with save Ukraine. All right, a lot of you people, man, you just sheeple. All you do is you follow the Judas goat into stupidity or into death itself. You really don't know what's going on in the world, right? Rather than what's going on in your own local community, you have no clue what's going on in the world, right? So going back, Washington, along with most of the collective West, has been imposing sanctions on the Palestinian Authority for nearly 17 years. The peace process between Israelis and Palestinians aimed at reaching a 2-state solution whereby Israel and Palestine would exist side by side as independent, mutually recognized states has been effectively dead for around 2 decades, with the last failed attempt to pressure the Israeli government to negotiate coming under former U.S. President Barack Obama. So this been going on for like 2 decades. And Israel, see, when Israel bombs Palestine in the Gaza Strip, right? In the papers it says Israel defended itself. But then let's say that the Palestinians retaliate with throwing rocks or something, they'll say, oh, Israel's being attacked. John Mayer said it the best, man. I love John Mayer's music. He said when they control the information, they can bend it all they want. And you people are just gobble it up, man. Right? You're so gullible. That's why the elite call the masses of the people, he calls them useless eaters. Because you will believe anything they tell you. I mean, anything they'll tell you, right? So So go on to Matthew 24, the 6th Bible.
This is Matthew 24 and 6. And you shall hear of war and rumors of war. See that be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet.
So you shall hear wars and rumors of wars, but be not troubled. So all these things are going to come to pass. Right? Because there has to be a stage to where they're going to try and forcibly implement the MOTB on everyone. But thermonuclear war is not going to happen just yet. Because remember, it's going to be absolute anarchy in all the streets. It's going to be like no day that's ever been on Earth. We ain't reached it yet, but you can see what's going on in your everyday news feed, man. Man, a lot of killing, it's a lot of murdering, it's a lot of robbery, it's a lot of fabrication. It's a lot of that going on. It's nothing new. That's what America's been built on. Come on, it was built off of slavery. So what do you expect for the post-mortem of it to be? What you see right now, and no other nation trusts America anymore. Okay. Yeah, keep going.
Matthew 24 and 7. For nation shall rise against nation.
When a nation shall rise against nation. Because you even had Turkey telling America, listen, you don't need to be breaking no warships over there, because what you're going to do is you're going to cause tension with us as well. And Turkey was also a member of NATO. So now you have your own allies hating the horde, which rises upon the beast in the book of Revelation. So now even your allies getting fed up with you. And what's his name? Khabib, the UFC champion, well, the former UFC champion that beat Conor McGregor, he even put it up on Palestine. He even put it up. He put the Palestine flag up and everything because he's Muslim as well. Because he actually know the history of what's going on around there, man. Because the Palestinians was inhabiting that land way prior to 1948. Okay, but going back, keep reading though. The next verse.
And kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famine, pestilence, and earthquakes in diverse places.
Then verse 8.
All these things are the beginning of our sorrows.
So all these things are the beginning of sorrows. Habakkuk 2 and 5. Are we comfortable?
Habakkuk 2 and 5?
Yeah, Habakkuk. Hold that on deck though. Now going back into the article, unlike other global powers such as Russia and China, the U.S. never entertained the idea of giving Hamas the chance to govern as Carver has suggested. So this is going back. Instead, every American government has refused to engage with Hamas, deeming it a terrorist organization, but then ignoring the Palestinian political party completely and not formulating any solution to the situation that has been ongoing inside Gaza. Now, they deem Hamas to be a terrorist group, but then let's date way back to 9/11, because there's so many videos and much evidence out there of the Taliban, Al-Qaeda, ISIS, and ISIL all being backed and funded by America. Because there's actually videos of American vehicles over there in the Middle East with American license plates on them, man. There's actually videos of America giving funds to ISIL and ISIS to help with proxy wars against other neighboring countries they was trying to get. Remember when Assad had asked Russia, had asked Putin to help him? Because what happened was the West was going on a war in the Middle East. That was taking everything. So when they tried to get Syria, that's when Assad had contacted Russia, and then from then on out, oh, Russia gate, Russia this, Russia that. Then they deemed Russia to be an enemy. So that just goes to show you, man, that everywhere they go, man, all they do is bring death and destruction. So how you gonna say that Hamas was a terrorist group when they always want to come to the political table to try to come to some solution on how they can live there, how they can cohabitate together, but all you're gonna do is deem them as terrorists whenever they want to defend themselves. That's exactly what America do. They'll throw a rock, and then if you throw one back, they say, oh man, you over here starting a war, you starting a fight. They don't want to get everybody else involved. Okay? Going back. In fact, the U.S. government considers every single major Palestinian political party or movement as a terrorist organization, other than the mainstream branch of Fatah that partially controls the West Bank. So that just goes to show you that if you're not with America, then they're going to deem you to be an enemy. But even Turkey's telling you, yo, you shouldn't bring warships over here, and Turkey's supposed to be your ally, right? And you got to remember, because in the news feeds, they're claiming that Hamas is an Iranian militant group. And Israel have been beefing about Iran having nuclear capabilities over there by constantly enriching uranium. Because they have nuclear capabilities too. And Iran, they're gonna nuke Israel. They're gonna do it because it's written in the scriptures, and they don't care anymore. Even Russia said the West. He said it will be desolate. That's in the Russian media. Because you don't read it, don't mean it's not real. So all the other countries saying, yo, America, you're not the only big guy on the block with a gun. All the other countries are saying that they have the same capabilities too. And now you're losing your grip on the world stage. Right? Shalom, Lamakai, Yahweh Shema Shah, I mean, hell, the world already seen how America did a poor, terrible job in Afghanistan. Billions of dollars in Afghanistan flushed down the drain, but your own people in America are suffering. And y'all look at us like we got a problem, like we're the issue. Now you people are just idiots, but we can't help you with that. That's why the Lord had to put the spirit of us to come out here to tell you what's going on, so that when it does hit the fan, you can't say you didn't know. You know, but ignorance is bliss. So, you know what I mean?
This is Habakkuk 2 and 5. They also, because he transgresses by wine, he is a proud man.
Also, because he transgresses by wine, he is a proud man. And that goes back to 17 years of putting sanctions on Palestine, because that wine is his philosophy. All right, it goes back to his political documents. Remember, it says, woe to him that devises iniquity upon his bed, because it's in the powers of his hand. You know, he think upon it at night. So what it's talking about is that they come up with different ideas. They come up with different laws, different statutes that constantly alter the way you live and the way you think. Oh, we don't like the fact that you're shaking hands with that political leader. We're gonna put sanctions on you. And sanctions are acts of war. Because what you're doing, you're cutting the bloodline of a country according to its economics. Every country has a GDP. So if you cut a country's economic line, the people who make a lot of money, the rich, the politicians, they're not going to suffer. The everyday people of that country is going to suffer. So sanctions on other countries, you're harming the everyday people, man. So sanctions are also acts of war too. You have to go to the fire. Just keep reading on.
Neither keep it at home, who enlarges his desire as hell.
It said neither keep it at home. That's talking about America. This is an article right here, February 14, 2023. The U.S. has 750 overseas military bases and continue to build more to encircle China. He neither keep it at home. That's a prime example right there. And that's the same thing in the Romans. The Romans stretched themselves too thin, and that's how they got invaded. Because if you're not protecting home base, then you can easily be invaded because you're sending all your soldiers out, you know, all across the world. You're scattering. So now your bands, right? Your battalions aren't as strong. It's kind of like having 5 fingers. If they're separated, they're weak. But when you bring the 5 fingers together, the fists make them stronger. So America stretches out their military too thin, man. So America's wide open. That's why Russia didn't mind making a statement about making the West desolate, because America has never incorporated, or should I say invested, most of its military money into a missile defense system, because their pride let them think they'll never get bombed. But now they even said it. They failed numerous times trying to take out, using like SAMRAPs or like ground to air missile defense system. They said they failed many times. So how are you going to stop a hypersonic missile that you can't even guide on your radar? You can't even find on your radar. All right, they got the Satan II. Russia has the Satan II. And China has the Dongfeng, I think Dongfeng 5 or something like that. So they got hypersonic missiles that you can't even see. And they just itching and scratching. And then also Russia has the dead man switch. So if from in any part of the world where they sense a missile was coming towards them, even if everybody in Russia was unconscious, the dead man switch would send all the missiles in that same direction. So they're telling you, don't try them. Psalms 140:1, deliver me, O Lord, from the evil man. Preserve me from the violent man. Exactly. Everywhere this man go, he's bringing nothing but violence, man. Right? They're talking about, remember when Gamara got what's her name? Gamara Gaddafi. You had the Gaddafi. You also had the other political leader in Sudan and over there in Egypt. They said they was over there using chemical weapons against their people, and they were doing terrorist acts and everything. Every country America went to, quote unquote, help, they're in the worst state after than they were prior. Come on, man, stop playing. Psalms 140:2. Which imagine mischiefs in their heart. Continually are they gathered together for war. That's in the scriptures. Continually. They always come together only for war, man. That's all they ever want. Because it's going to constantly be. It's never been a time since mankind that one kingdom has always been on top. Always. America's on a decline. Like every other great kingdom. You can go into all the other great kingdoms. America is a great kingdom. But now it's on a decline. Alright? No one's flocking to come to America to want to live, to make a better life. They come in and make money and send it back home. That's why there's so much inflation. They're not investing in America. They're sending their money back home, man. Right? The land of opportunity, right? Psalms 140:3. They have sharpened their tongues like a serpent. Otter's poison is under their lips. Right. Because their words are, what it says, the words of his mouth was smooth as butter, but he had war in his heart. That's why the Lord say, never trust thy enemy. Never. All right? Verse 4, keep me, O Lord, from the hands of the wicked. Preserve me from the violent man who have proposed to overthrow my goings. Facts, man. Because they're always trying to lay a stumbling block before you. Always. They're constantly trying, especially with when it says the wicked, it says the righteous are the poor. They're constantly trying to increase that distance between the poor and between the righteous, man. Always trying to increase that distance. That's why so many mom and pop stores had to shut down because when they had the COVID-19, they told you that you couldn't go make an honest living. So they made you more dependent on the government, man. They don't care about the poor. Yerome Gabar dropped Proverbs 4:16. For they sleep not except they have done mischief. Exactly. And their sleep is taken away unless they cause some to fall. Exactly. Shalom. Y'all about But going back, the U.S. has 750 overseas military bases. It continues to build more to encircle China. That's the violent man. You don't see China. Imagine if China had one military base in Canada. Oh my God. America and EU and NATO will be in an uproar. But they got 700. This is this year. February 14, 2023. 750 bases overseas, man. Really? So who's really the bully on the block? You read that one more time, Bubba Kashab?
Habakkuk 2:5. Yea, also because he transgresses by wine, he is a proud man, neither keep it at home, who enlarges his desire as hell, and it is as death, and cannot be satisfied, but gathered unto him all nations, and heaped unto all people.
Right, so he gathered unto him all nations and heaped unto him all people. There you go, it's from the spirit, man. Because going back to Henry Kissinger, what the Saudi Arabia said, give me all your gold, we give you these dollars. Whenever you want your gold back, you can come and trade them out with your dollars. So when Saudi Arabia tried to get their gold back, that's when they killed the gold standard in the 70s. So then they made all nations. Now you good, man. You solid, bro. Now you good, bro.
So what are you talking about?
You good. We talking about what's going on over there in the Middle East. You stay on this side of the report. Yeah, but we talking about what's going on in the Middle East as biblical prophecy. And there's a reason why all the wars are happening over there right now, because the Lord is coming back to redeem his land. So the people that's over there, they were put there by man. The Lord said he's going to put his people in that land.
A lot of biblical prophecies have been coming true in the past like several years.
It's been going on. Well, going back to 1948 when they made the state of Israel. That goes back to them taking the land from the Palestinians, and they've been warring since then. But a lot of people in modern times over here in America, they don't really know what's going on because there's so many distractions. But this war goes back decades, you know.
Yeah.
So
it's been going on for 40 years, hasn't it?
Yeah, around that time. Okay, so you have some acumen of what's going on.
Well, I've known for a while. I've known that whenever a big news story comes out about something else happening, the government's trying to hide something. They're trying to hide something from happening.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, when they started coming up with terms
I'm down here now. I'm getting ready to walk in at corporate now.
They started to say fake speech, fake news, whatever. It goes back to a quote I heard from one of the, I think it was Rothschild and Rockefeller. They said the internet was the worst thing that they could have ever created. Because it's always pros and cons to everything. Because now you have opportunity to get the truth rather than it always being propagated. Yeah. Going back to Pearl Harbor, they had 3 days of knowing that kamikaze attack was happening. And they needed a reason to go to war. And back then the people were wiser. You know what I'm talking about? The people were wise. That's why I want you to stand over here. You can stand over here if you want to. But we'll talk about you good though, man. But at the end of the day, you gotta come to the realization. If it's not making the money, why are they doing it? Remember that, right? All right, man. Hey, take care, brother. Be safe. Yup. So going back. Wow. And he's young too. Somebody that know what's going on. Okay, that's lovely. That's lovely. You give me on Joel 3 and 2.
Joel 3 and 2.
Once again, you gotta follow the paper trail, man, and it'll take you right to where you want to go. Follow the paper trail, my guy. Yep, because the love of money is the root of all evil. Follow the paper trail. Why are they over there helping them? Why they really want to go help them? It's a reason why they want to go help Ukraine. 30% of the world weaks over there. If Russia get that, man, they can go to war for a very long time. If you can't feed your soldiers, if you don't have ammunition, if you don't have fuel, you can't go to war. So that was a very smart move by Russia to invade Ukraine, okay? Because they know we have more wheat. All right, so go ahead on.
This is Joel 3 and 2. I will also gather all nations, and I will bring them down into the valley of Josaphat, and I will plead with them. Therefore, my people and for my heritage Israel.
Right, for my people and for my heritage Israel. He said he's going to gather all nations down to the valley of Jehoshaphat. Now, when you go into the word Jehoshaphat, the word Jehoshaphat going to the word Yahweh Shaphat. Yahweh rule. So when you're looking at what's going on in Israel, if you have to go to an ancient map. Look up the word Jehoshaphat. On the ancient map, it will show you right there where Jordan is, Yemen, where Israel is, where all Syria, all in that region, they call that the Levant. Go online, look up the Levant. That whole area is known as the Levant. So in that area, it's called the Valley of Jehoshaphat. All nations right now are looking at Israel. See, Ukraine was never the premises of the Lord coming back. All right, all that was just the Lord's putting the hooks back in the jaws, going back to the bear in the book of Ezekiel, and going back to the USSR ways. The Cold War is now becoming a hot war. It's not a Cold War anymore, right? So what's going on? So what's going on with Russia, Iran, China, India, Saudi Arabia, Israel, Turkey, and it's all nations right now are looking at Israel. Even Turkey, Erdogan has something to say about it. So this is a grand scale move. Ukraine is nothing compared to what's happening in Israel right now. Because Israel, what do you call it? Israel like a welfare state. They constantly get billions of dollars from America. They constantly get new weaponry. They get everything, right? So that just goes to show you that this is completely different from what happened in Ukraine. They only want to gain the grounds in Ukraine, but Israel has always been the ally for America. That's why in the scripture it says, the least of the flock shall draw them out. The least of the flock of the goats of Esau is going to draw out America. All right? Go ahead.
And will plead with them, therefore my people, and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land.
Right. He said he's going to plead for his people, his heritage Israel, who they scattered and they parted my land. Right there in the scripture it says they parted my land. Why do you think the Palestinians and those small hats are fighting? The Lord Ben said they parted his land, going back to 1948. The Balfour Declaration. Palestine for Jews, right here. The Balfour Declaration. You people gotta read. You people gotta read, man. All these smartphones, all these idiots, man. You gotta read, y'all. Palestine for the Jews. Official sympathy. Mr. Balfour has sent the following letter to Lord Rothschild in regard to the establishment of a national home in Palestine for the Jewish people. So this is a letter from Balfour being written to Lord Rothschild. All right, you know who the Rothschilds and Rockefellers are, right? Okay then, say no more. I have much pleasure in conveying to you, on behalf of His Majesty's government, the following declaration of sympathy with Jewish Zionist aspirations, which has been submitted to and approved by the Cabinet. His Majesty's government view with favor the establishment in Palestine of a national home for the Jewish people, reading it verbatim, all right? And will use their best endeavors to facilitate the achievement of this object, it being clearly understood that nothing shall be done which may prejudice the civil and religious rights of existing non-Jewish communities in Palestine. This is a letter from Balfour that he's writing to Lord Rothschild before the Jewish state in 1947. All right, Shalom Makwati. How about Shema Shai? This is a letter from Balfour. All right, listen here. Listen to what it said again. It being clearly understood that nothing shall be done which may prejudice the civil and religious rights of existing non-Jewish communities in Palestine. They're not doing that when they're dropping bombs on them. They're not doing that. Or the rights and political status enjoyed by Jews in any other country. It should be grateful if you will bring this declaration to the knowledge of the Zionist Federation. So now you see why they're constantly fighting and beefing over there. Because what it is, you separated them from the land. You gave them a certain portion of the land from 1948 up until now, and you just constantly keep taking territory. You constantly keep taking territory from them, man. And then when they finally retaliate, now it's all of a sudden everybody's up in arms with Hamas all of a sudden.
Joel 3 and 2, right?
I want you to get this from me real quick. No. Give me Zechariah 9 and 6. Zechariah 9 and 6. Because in Joel 3 and 2, it said that you scattered my people, and it said that you parted their land. So when you parted the land, that's why you have the Gaza Strip, you have the West Bank, and that's why you have what you call today known as Israel, Palestine and Israel, okay? Zechariah 9 and 6.
This is Zechariah 9 and 6. And a bastard shall dwell in Ashdod, and I will cut off the pride of the Philistines.
Right, the Lord said, he said, a bastard shall live in Ashdod, and he will cut off the pride of the Philistines. Because we go back to the Palestinians and the Philistines, that goes back to the Canaanites, right? Because it was known as the land of Canaan before it was also known as the land of Israel today. And really, if you want to go into a geographical terminology, it's also known as the Fertile Crescent. It's supposed to be the most fertile land on earth, i.e. the land of milk and honey. I mean, but you gotta do a little research to know that. Nonetheless, though, right now they're part of that land. That's biblical prophecy. The Lord said a bastard lives in Ashdod. You're going to the word bastard. People today know that to be what? A fatherless child, right? But when you actually go into the etymology of the word bastard, it means fraudulent. So the Lord said a fraud is living in my land. Ashdod is the 5th largest city in Israel right now. So they know that they was put there by that Balfour Declaration written in Lord Rothschild. That's not biblical prophecy to write documentation indicating you are the Lord's people. The Lord said He gonna put His people in that land. So that's why there's never be peace over there in that land. Because Gamal Abdel Nasser, the second president of Egypt, he said this. This is an actual quote from him. This is from Times Magazine. What, 1952, if I'm not mistaken? This is from Gamal Abdel Nasser, who was actually the president. He said, when he was asked about peace in the Middle East, the late president of Egypt, Gamal Abdel Nasser, stated, this is his quote, the Jews will never be able to live here in peace because they left here black but came back white, unquote. That was the second president of Egypt said in 1952. So that was 4 or 5 years after the Jewish state was established. So he already knew whoever's living over here in these lands, you'll never have peace because you left black and came back white. But I guess everybody's saying that we just trying to take their heritage. The world know who we are. Y'all just been told a lie your whole life. But it's okay. You should be upset with your government and your education system for dumbing you down. That's your problem. Take it up with them, not with us. So the world know who we were. Same thing in Time Magazine with Adolf Hitler. Adolf Schickergruber is his real name. He said America has God's jewels. When you go into Malachi the 3rd chapter, he said he will make up his jewels. All right, the Lord said, a man shall be tried like fine gold. An acceptable man shall be tried like fine gold in the fire of adversity. Right. So we're the jewels. But once again, the world know, man. It's just here in America, man. man, these people are just sottish, bro. They don't really know nothing, man. It's crazy. You know, it's to the point where in America they're arguing and bickering over pronouns, where people over in the Middle East are literally trying to fight every day just to survive, like because of political wars based upon it's really holy wars going on. Y'all over here arguing and bickering and crying about pronouns and junk. What do you bring to the table? What did y'all arguing about? You know what I'm saying? So that's why the word hate America. It's a bunch of grown adults, man. It's a bunch of grown adults over here. And they're so selfish, they don't even think about the kids. Everybody you have so many adults that's so selfish. That's why the children don't respect adults, because the adults haven't even matured mentally. Everybody maturing physically, but they're not maturing mentally. So you got children raising children, and look at the result. You got a president saying you can grab a woman by her pussy. That's the world we live in, y'all. You know, that's why the world laugh at America. But going back to what Gamal Abdel Nasser said, it says the Jews will never be able to live here in peace because they left here black, came back white. All right? Call him on like how about Shema Shai by Shem Kakadash Barakatah for that, man. Give me Isaiah 14, verse 1 through 2. So going back to the whole Jewish state and what's going on over there in Israel, the reason why that's happening because the Lord's people are not back in their place, man. The Lord said that. The Lord said when we were going to go back into the land. Wait, hold on. The Lord said that you're going to have the 12 pillars for the 12 tribes of Israel, each one having their own stone. You're going to have the 12 thrones that the 12 disciples are going to sit on, going back to Matthew the 19th chapter. You're going to have the 24 holy elders that's constantly praising the Lord, that cast their crowns down to his throne. We're supposed to see the heavens descend. We're supposed to see Abraham. We're supposed to see King David. The Lord said when his people go back to the land, all that was supposed to happen. They still fighting over there. So that go to show you, man, they make the Lord's people, but y'all eat it up anyhow. It's all good. Hey, the Bible gonna speak. The Bible gonna speak, man. The Bible's gonna speak. Go ahead, Al.
Isaiah 14 and 1, right?
Yeah, Isaiah 14 and 1.
Isaiah 14 and 1. For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob and will yet choose Israel.
So the Lord will have mercy upon Jacob and yet choose Israel.
And set them in their own land.
And set them in their own land. So the Lord said he was going to set his people into their own land. All right? So that goes to show you that it's crazy, man. It's beautiful at the same time. The Lord said you were going to scatter my people and part my land. But then the Lord goes on to say that I'm going to put my people in their land. So for you to do that, the Lord put the spirit in you to go over there and to take our land. Now remember, the scripture even says it, another shall surname themselves Jacob. Well, Israel's name was Jacob before he wrestled with the angel. And after he wrestled with the angel, his name was changed from Jacob to Israel. Now you're fine, you're recording outside. No, you're good. And this is public sidewalk. We don't own this. Yeah, so Israel, so Jacob's name was changed to Israel. So when it says another shall surname themselves Jacob, actually, move your Baba Kasha. Yeah. Right. So to this day, you notice they call themselves Israeli, which Israeli means you're an inhabitant of Israel. But to say you're an Israelite is to say you're a descendant from the lineage of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. So they'll never call themselves Israelites, right? They never will. They'll say they're from the tribe of Levi or the tribe of Judah. They'll say that, right? But then what about Naphtali? What about Reuben? What about Issachar? What about Simeon? There are 12 tribes. They only talk about the three. The three that were left over, they talk about Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. But there's 12 tribes. So like when they say that they're the Lord's people, okay, where are the other 12 tribes? And where are the 12 pillars? Right? So anyhow, keep going on.
And the stranger shall be joined with them.
And the stranger shall be joined with them. That goes back to the Israelite foreigners. The stranger shall be joined with them. Go ahead.
And shall cleave into their house of Jacob.
And shall cleave to the house of Jacob. Go ahead.
Okay, verse 2. And the people shall take them and bring them to their place. And the house of Israel shall possess them in their land of the Lord servants.
Right, and the Lord, and they shall possess them in the land of the Lord as servants. So the scripture says, those who oppress them shall make them servants in the land. Well, last time I checked, when they was put into the state of Israel, right? I mean, I don't remember them bringing any German soldiers over there to make them. Remember, the Germans oppressed them, right, in the Holocaust. Well, how come they didn't bring no German soldiers over there in the land and oppress them? The Lord said you would do that.
And handmaids.
And handmaids, sir. Thank you. They didn't do that. Okay, that was a prime example. So that prophecy wasn't fulfilled, but they're still over there. Go ahead,
And they shall take them captive, whose captive they were.
And they shall take them captives whose captive they were. They haven't taken anyone captive. Go ahead.
And rule over their oppressors.
And shall rule over their oppressor. They're not. So that goes back to us.
That's us.
Us being the oppressed. Us being the captives. It's funny when they say, "Oh, you're free."
Like the scripture said, they're the head and we're the tail right now.
Right.
So we got to get it back. When we're the head, they're going to be the tail.
Right. What are you talking about, it's crazy, bro. These people are out of their freaking minds. They'll say, they seeking salvation. What do you need salvation for? This is your kingdom, right? Like, you talking about who? You talking about being saved? That's like somebody kidnapping you. What happened with Lot? When Lot got kidnapped, when they took over the land, Abraham and his servants went and got Lot. We were put into slavery. Nobody came and got us yet. So who is it talking about needs salvation then? Like, it's funny to me. I laugh at these people because it's a very beautiful thing when you read the scriptures, man.
What you need?
Go ahead. Huh?
What you need to be delivered from, man?
Right. What do you need to be delivered from?
The Lord sent us upon your land. He said, "I will send you to your enemies for all wants and needs."
Yeah, the Lord said, "I will send you into your enemy for one of all things." You know, the thing is though, is that just because you didn't get a piece of the pie, doesn't mean that you need salvation as well. Your own people cut you out. You know, if you're gonna have a righteous kingdom like King Solomon, when King Solomon was ruling, there were 40 years of peace on earth. But man has always been at war ever since then, right? So what do you really need salvation for? This is your kingdom. You know what I'm saying? God bless America, the few, the proud, the Marines. You know, we know these. What they say? These colors never run, and yeah, this is your kingdom. Live up to it. You're not gonna be ruling in the kingdom of heaven. This is it for you, man. Like every other kingdom on earth, this is your heaven right here. Our kingdom's gonna come soon. What do you need salvation for? You got everything. You got the world. You going out of space and all of that. You want to go to Mars? The Lord said you would set your nest amongst the stars. Never in the history of mankind has anybody ever been to the moon and back, other than these times we're living in. And who did it? Whether you say you're American or Russian, the so-called white man, the Edomite man. Now I gotta stop playing. These everyday people don't really know. I'm not concerned with them. But these elites, they know, man. We know who you are, like you know who we are. You know? I can't help it that a lot of people in America are just sottish and they have poor diets that they can't even think or function properly. Most people can't even function properly without having a cigarette, bro. Like, that's the world we living in. Oh, I need a cigarette, man. I'm getting antsy. What? Or, you know what I'm saying? You getting hangry, man. You want to get hungry. You get mad. I'm like, bro, you haven't eaten in like 6 hours. Think about somebody who ain't eaten in 2 days. What are you talking about? You mad? These people here crazy, man. Anyways, can you please give me Isaiah 2:1?
Isaiah 2:1?
Right.
I got this hair, bro.
No, you have 14:1. Isaiah 2. You were just at Isaiah. It's all good.
It's Isaiah 2:1.
Right.
The word that Isaiah, the son of Amos, saw concerning Judah and Jerusalem.
Right. Go ahead.
And shall it come to pass in the last days that the mountain of the Lord house shall be established?
It said in the last days, the mountain of the Lord house shall be established. It's being established right now. Okay, how shall I lay the foundation? The Lord said we're spiritual stones going to what is it? 1 Peter the 2nd chapter. That goes back to the third temple. The third temple being built. Remember vocab alone? They're not building the third temple over there. Cause even the Lord said, what did he say? He said, you are my building. You are my husbandry. The Lord said he will dwell within the nation of Israel. All right? Remember what it says? The Heavenly Father's the head, Yahweh Shai is our head. and then the man is the head of the woman going into the water, right? Go ahead, huh?
On the top of the mountains, it shall be exalted above the hills.
Yeah, when you go into mountains and hills, that goes into nations. A mountain will be a big nation, like China and Russia. A hill will be like a small nation, like, say, Pakistan or something like that, you know? You know what I'm saying? So that would be a mountain and a hill. Also, the G20 summit. What happens at the G20 summit? The top 20 leaders of the world come together to try to come to some kind of resolve or resolution. I ain't know if I want to say resolve or resolution, so I was trying to find the words. When the top 20 leaders of the world come together to find a resolution about global affairs. That's the G20 summit. What is a summit? That's the peak of a mountain. So that would be the people at the top of the nations. So that's biblical prophecy. When it says it shall exalt above the mountains and the hills, it's talking about nations, man. Big nations and small nations. I think was that a WRX? I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. Go ahead, huh?
And nations shall flow into it.
Right, and nations shall flow into it. They're not flowing to Israel right now. I mean, for the war, yeah, but not going for the reason why it's going to say after. Go ahead, huh?
Verse 3. And many people shall go and say, Come ye, and let us go up into the mountains of the Lord, to the house of God of Jacob, and he will teach us his ways, and will walk in his path. For out of Zion shall go forth the law.
Ooh, that's heavy. Hold on, wait a minute. It says, and many people shall go and say, Come ye, and let us go to the mountain of the Lord, to the house of the God of Jacob, and he will teach us of his ways. Ain't nobody flocking over to learn the ways, because they're not teaching the ways, man. That's how you know, man, that's a biblical prophecy. It's not been fulfilled. They're not flocking, because during that day, because it says the light. So like, finish it out. I got excited.
And will walk in his paths, for out of Zion shall go forth the law, and the word of the Lord from Jerusalem.
And the word of the Lord. So hold on, check this out, huh? If they were the people of the Lord, the small hats in the land right now, why are we out here telling people to repent?
Right.
If that's the case, if everybody's supposed to be flocking to Israel right now, according to prophecy, why are we still out here? Why are we still warring?
Those are not his people.
Right, those are not his people. Why are we still warring? Right? Come on, man, stop it. You know? There's still famines in the world. There's still pestilence in the world. The Lord said he was going to wipe away all tears. People still crying in the world. Right? It's hell throughout the world. The earth being polluted by the inhabitants therein all because they don't keep the law. That's why Yahweh Shai said, except those days be shortened for the elect's sake, no flesh shall be saved. Because at this rate that man's going, won't no flesh be saved, man. From the pollution, from the foods you eat, from the medication that they put you on. They don't cure you. They treat you. They don't never cure you. Because then again, it won't be $1 billion industry, right? There's no way they can make billions of dollars if they heal you, if they cure you, right? Man, come on, man. Keep going up.
And he shall judge among the nations and shall rebuke many people.
He shall judge among the nation and rebuke many people.
And they shall beat their swords and plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks.
So they're gonna beat their swords and the plowshares and their spears and the pruning hooks. So in other words, that's a parable saying you're not gonna war anymore. So your sword's gonna be a plowshare for the field, and your pruning hook and your spear gonna be a pruning hook to cut the grass. So in other words, you're gonna become shepherds, not warriors anymore. They're still warring over there. I seen a video of an Israeli soldier with a gun in his hand, running like this. What are you guys talking about? What prophecies that has been fulfilled, man? But they're like, we crazy. Go ahead, huh?
And nation shall lift up swords against nation.
And nation shall not lift up sword against nation. Go ahead.
And shall they learn war anymore.
And they shall not learn war anymore. They're still warring in the land.
Right.
All right? So that's a prime example right there on how can they be the Lord's people when they're still warring in the land right to this day. All right? So with that being said, we're going to go right into prophecy. Sirach 39:1. Concerning those Israelites saying that we're obsessed with the MOTB, of course we're obsessed with the Bible. Yeah, that's the spirit of the Lord. It's prophecy. Of course we're obsessed with it, man. Just like you have You got people that's obsessed with cigarettes, people that's obsessed with sports, people that's obsessed with fashion, have obsession with vehicles. We have an obsession with prophecy, right? Because a prophecy is a sure sign. Because there's no greater power on earth than indicating or being clairvoyant of what's to happen. Okay? What's being clairvoyant of what's to happen? Meaning that you can predict the future. If you can predict the future, hell, anybody can be a millionaire if that's the case. But only the Lord has that power. So prophecy is strong, man. That's our foundation of what we believe in. Our foundation of our faith is prophecy. And it's constantly unfolding. Like this store right here. We was here 10 years ago. This store right here, this whole place was barren. It wasn't really nothing even in this building. We was here 10 years ago. And guess what? What we spoke about 10 years ago is happening today. But hey, if the Lord blinded you, he ain't dealing with you, man. So these people, they have no clue. Downtown, they already know, man. Sushi Inc. We been down there First Friday. These people have no clue. When First Friday was crazy down here, we used to be right down there at Sushi Inc. in the midst of it all. Come on, we had people pull knives on us, try to call the police on us, all of that. And y'all, there's no fear in man, bro. Especially when you know the Lord control life and death. You don't have no fear in man. And once you know, man, listen here, you think about it. Yo, I had no say-so the day I was born. So you know there's a higher power than you, man. That humbles you. Because the Lord can take me any day, man. Let me buckle down and, hey, what your boy Kendrick Lamar say? Bitch, me humble, all right? Let me humble down. Because pride goes before destruction, man. You know, the Lord, even the scripture said pride wasn't made for man. There's no way to have pride inside of you, man, when every breath in your body is given to you. There's no way. No way. Anyhow, go ahead, man.
Sirach 39 and 1. But he that giveth his mind to the law of the Most High.
You gotta speak up.
Sirach 39 and 1. But he that giveth his mind to the law of the Most High is occupied in the meditation thereof, will seek out the meta wisdom of all ancient, and occupied in prophecy.
Right. And we'll be occupied in prophecy, man. You give me Revelation 19 and 10?
Revelation 19.
So he that giveth his mind to the Lord, it says that you will meditate on the ancients thereof, which is the scriptures, and your mind will be occupied in prophecy. That's why you have people flocking to these churches, because they're not telling them the prophecy. That's why the Lord said, follow not a multitude to do evil. Because they're doing it, they're speaking prosperity doctrine in churches. We're only speaking the prophecy. And even when you go to the book of Ezekiel, he said when he opened the book, it was full of lamentations, mournings, and woe. So what does that tell you? What's up ahead? Lamentations, warning, and woe. Like you said, we're just spiritual Doppler 9. We're just telling you this is the calm before the storm. So this is really love from the Lord letting you know what's happening. So that when it does come, you can't say you didn't know. You hear what I'm saying? Like the Lord said, it clearly said by the foolishness of preaching to save those that do believe. So majority of people that walk by don't believe. So what does that mean? When the Lord said the slain of the Lord shall be many, well, you can expect that. You can expect that because not many believe. So you can expect many to not make it. It's only when you read the scriptures, you be like, man, how can God kill? How can God? Then you look at the people like they don't care about the Lord. They don't worry about them, man. They high and mighty, man. Now I see why the Lord took him out. You know, so you start to come to this sense like, man, and now I see why the Lord is so stern. Now I see why the Lord is so austere about keeping the commandments and doing certain things. Because when you don't, look at the world today. Look at the world today. And only the wicked like this society. Because you want to know why? They don't have to do the things of the Lord. They can do whatever they want. Do as thy will. America has the law of Thelma. It's like, as in Rome, do as in Rome. There was no law there. It was just a debaucherous state. Constantly, man. But anyhow, go back, you Revelation 19 and 10.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
This is Revelations 19 and 10. And I fell at his feet to worship him. And he said unto me, thou see, do it not. I am thy fellow servant.
Right, so the angel is telling him, don't bow down at my feet. The angel is telling John, don't bow at my feet. I'm your fellow servant. So with that being said, an angel is a servant just like we're a servant. The word angel just means messenger. So we're messengers too. Go ahead, right?
And of thy brethren that have the testimony of your Mashiach, worship God But the testimony of Mashiach is the spirit of prophecy.
Right, so the testimony of the Lord is prophecy. So when I see these people in the church sweating out their Jerry curl, jumping up and down, dancing, hooting and hollering, everybody got their hands in the air. Oh, I feel it, the spirit is on me. Oh no, them demons on you. Because the Lord said the testimony of him is prophecy. What testimony are you talking about? That's not prophetic what you're talking about. Right? So what spirit do you have on you then? It ain't prophecy, but it said the spirit of the Lord is the testimony of prophecy. And these pastors inside these churches, they got a 501c3 charter. It's called a gag order. So in other words, it's just like the educational system. The government is going to give you a curriculum to teach the students, like the government give the pastors to teach the people, to feed the people. Come on, man, wake up. Wake up. You wicked scribe and Pharisees will be the 501c3 charters today. Because they're for the government. Right? That's why people believe in it, because it's lies. Keep giving them sweet, beautiful, juicy, succulent, delicious lies, and they eat it up. Giving them bitter herbs, they'll push it away. But that's what's good for you, right? Anyhow, read that one more time out.
Revelation 19:10, and I fell at his feet to worship him, and he said unto me, see thou do it not, I am the fellow servant and thy brethren, that the Lord testimony of Mashiach, worship Yahweh. But the testimony of the Mashiach is the spirit of prophecy.
Can you give me 1 Corinthians 14:1? Prophecy, man. Everything's based upon prophecy. And like I said, the foundation of our faith is prophecy. Because we can see it, man. That's the beautiful thing about it. When we couldn't see it, it's crazy. Because faith is something that you can't see but you believe in, right? When we couldn't see it, it was just more all this. We just excited because it was like, man, I could see the sign. Now when you actually see it, you can see that people get more quiet, but like you're more vamped up because now, man, this word is all the more true. Like, dang, I can't believe it. Like what the elder said 30 years ago, what the elder said 20 years ago, what the elder said 10 years ago, 5 years ago, 2 years ago, all that's coming to pass. And you sit here, you be like, man, this is real. But it's a beautiful nightmare because you at least have a chance at salvation, but you know it's going to be hell to come. But even the scripture says in Acts the 14th chapter, it said, matter of fact, let's get that. So like, no, go ahead. You do that. I'll get it. Yeah, you've been talking a lot. So like it, brother. Yeah, even in Acts it says it's not going to be a cakewalk going to the kingdom of heaven, man. I don't get it. Like the Lord was crucified. And like it says humility comes before honor. He was humiliated before he was honored. You people think you're gonna just waltz into the kingdom of heaven with honors and not go through no humiliation, not carry your cross. Even the Lord said, he who do not bear his cross is not worthy for the kingdom of heaven. So what life is you living when you think you're just gonna waltz into the kingdom of heaven? You're not. There are trials and tribulations, man, that go for you to be tried. Because it says wisdom will try you. To gain something so precious, you gotta be tried. Constantly tried, man. That's why everybody, I said it earlier at the beginning of this line. Everybody can be a millionaire because everybody don't know what it takes to take sacrifices, man. You gotta make sacrifices to do certain things in life, man. Don't people sacrifice time? It's like some people, they just had to let go of their life. Like us, people in the world that we grew up with, that I would go to war for. Right now, I can't even, we ain't on the same frequency right now. But in the street, you see me walking the camp, what the dude did? What the dude did when he saw me? He walked up to me and gave me down. He know me from the hood, but he see me with my Bible. He see me with, yeah, I know what you used to be, but I know who you are right now. What's up, bro? Dap him up and keep moving. That's it, man. Because at the end of the day, when you look at the world and what's left? What's left here? If you want to have a family with a traditional woman, good luck. Try and go to the Middle East. Well, they push democracy over there. So it's like if you try to get a peace of mind in society, man, our only peace of mind we got is here. Because the majority of people really don't know where the world is going. We know, we telling you, but it's not in the direction that you want it to go. But that's our only purpose of being out here, man. We're not out here to befriend you. We're not looking for subscriptions. There ain't no memberships or none of that, man. We out here out of the fear of the Lord. Point blank, period. Hey, what the Lord said? The Lord said, 1,000 shall fall at the wayside, but the evil shall not come near you. I expect that because thousands walk and drive by all the time. That's the 1,000 he talking about. It's crazy. The Lord said he gonna show mercy unto thousands. There's billions on earth. Make that make sense, man. That's talking about mass death. That's genocide, bro. It's like pandemic numbers. Like, you know, like, it's crazy, bro. You think about it. Flood the earth, save 8 people. Damn, how many people on the earth died then? That people don't think about that. God is all love. That wasn't love when he drowned the other people in the world. You know? What happened when it was Sodom and Gomorrah? Fire and brimstone, right? What happened when King David committed adultery? Took his child. That's the worst feeling. That's the worst thing. I committed sin, but the Lord not going to punish me, punish my son who nothing I can do for. That's what the Lord's going to do when he the Lord's going to choose your delusion. He even said that in the Bible. The Lord said he's going to choose your delusion. So the Lord know what you're fearful of. Arachnophobia. You're afraid of spiders? The Lord will have it to you see a whole bunch of spiders climbing up a wall, you just panicking. Yeah, the Lord knows. What do you think happened in Egypt? There were apparitions. Man was going out. It's finna be hell that's finna come here, man. Matter of fact, let me get that real quick. So this is Acts chapter 14, verse 22. Confirming the souls of the disciples and exhorting them to continue in the faith, and that we through much tribulation enter to the kingdom of God. So what does that mean? Much tribulation is coming to the world. Point blank period. Much. This is just a minor scale, man. All right. Every hurricane don't start as a hurricane 5, or a tornado as an F5. No, it has to progress. And right now, this is just a tropical storm, people. It's just a tropical storm. All right. The Lord just cut the oven on and it's heating up. The Lord finna get cooking, man. The Lord gonna start sending all these death angels out here. The Lord gonna start taking a lot of people off the face of the earth. And then you're gonna hear the same sob story. Oh, he was a good boy. Oh, she had a bright future. Oh, she wanted to be a dentist. And the Lord don't care about none of that. Because the Lord didn't tell you to go be a dentist. I mean, that's your lot, but I'm saying the Lord served me. Matter of fact, can you get on Ecclesiastes 12 and 13? Let's see what the whole duty of man is. All right, that's mankind in general. Let's see what the whole duty of man is. You know what I'm saying? Be a fashion designer. I wanna be a Balenciaga, whatever it is, a fashion designer. Man, the Lord ain't looking at that shit and saying, "That's a good job, son." Stupid.
Ecclesiastes 12 and 13. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear Yahweh and keep his commandments.
Fear the Lord and keep his commandments. Go ahead.
For this is the whole duty of man.
That's the whole duty of man. They fear the Lord and keep his commandments, right? But remember, what's the transgression of the law? That's sin. What's the wages of sin? Death. I'm just a messenger, man. I'm just a messenger. So, even the scriptures say,
America's just an iniquity tool, man.
Can you get that?
America's one big iniquity bowl.
Yeah. Listen to what you just said. You said America is one big bowl of iniquity. Well, go back to Revelation when it says, the whore that rises upon the beast that has the golden cup full of abominations. That's America. The golden cup full of abominations. Right there. Melting pot. Cesspool. Yeah. Man, you're calling me right now. Yeah, that's what it says right there. The scriptures, man. This is the place. This is the place. Matter of fact, another prime example, way of showing that. I think was it Meyer? I think it was Meyer Amschel Bauer. He said, "Give me control of a nation's money, and I care not who make the laws." That right there shows you that's the state of America. They don't care about what you believe in. As long as we can make a profit off of anything you believe, anything you want, that's fine. That's exactly what Meyer Amschel Bauer said. Give me control of a nation's money. I care not who create the laws. That's why people, they don't care. Oh, you want to be a goldfish? You identify as a goldfish. They gonna profit off of that. They don't care. They'd rather the masses die off so they can have less people to feed. They call you useless eaters, you know. That's what the oligarchs look at the other people as. If you're not from our lineage, if you're not a part of our in crowd, all right. If you're not going towards our forte, they look at you as an outsider. They look at you as an outcast. They look at you as a foreigner, an alien. Because their whole task is is to reduce the world population. They said that. That's why they took down the Georgia Guidestones. Remember, it says to put humanity in perpetual harmony with nature by reducing the world population to 500 million people. Bro, they had that. They had that in Georgia. Reduce the world population to 500 people, then they took it down. What's the quickest way of doing that? I don't know. Food. I don't know. Vaccines, viruses. Well, really, people just kill themselves off of their diet alone, so they ain't even worried about that. The life expectancy just dropped. I saw an article. Life expectancy dropped in the past 10 years by 3 years. So rather than you dying at 79, you're dying at 76. Bravo, America. Sad, bro. It's crazy. That's why the Lord said He got to shorten the days unless no flesh will be saved. You know? Anyhow, let's get back to it. Oh, can you give me 2nd Ezra 9 and 13? We're gonna close out soon. 2nd Ezra 9 and 13.
This is 2nd Ezra 9 and 13, and therefore be thou not curious how the ungodly shall be punished, and then but inquire how the righteous shall be saved.
So it's like the Lord said, yo, don't worry about how the ungodly going to be punished. Be more concerned with how the righteous shall be saved. Because that's a small number. That's a small number. That's what matters the most, right? Because a lot of people won't even make it in the credits in the end. A lot of people, they're not even in the credits. A lot of people walking around are NPCs, you know. What's up, man?
How you doing, sir?
You want that way?
Okay, I don't want to get in the way of all your shit.
Oh, okay, all right. You just walked up on us. We didn't know what's going on, man. All right. I'm a lumberjack, my guy. Okay, anyhow, go back.
2nd Ezra 9 and 13 again. And therefore be thou not curious how the ungodly shall be punished, and when but inquire how the righteous shall be saved.
But inquire how the righteous shall be saved. The Lord said, inquire how the righteous shall be saved. So that's the only reason why we out here, man. For the righteous to be saved. And for the Lord to ask a question in the scriptures. When He come back on earth, shall there be faith on earth? That goes to show you that not many people are going to have it. So many people are going to perish. What it say? You shall be saved by grace and faith, which is a gift that's given to you. Right? It's kind of like how these modern women say she want to get married, right? So she marry herself. You can't gift yourself marriage. No, it has to be given to you, right? So a gift is something that's given to you that you earn. So, no, let me take that back, because I won't even say it's earned, because how did we earn this? You know, how did we earn faith? If you were to think about it. But then again, what it says, it's been with the faithful since the womb. So we're the same ones back then. That's reincarnation, right? Cause what did what did the angel tell John the Revelator? He said, thou shalt prophesy again amongst many nations. And there was no other history of him prophesying again other than it will be today. Because there's no recollection of the past, like it says in Ecclesiastes, the 1st chapter. Alright? So go ahead, read it again now.
2nd Ezra 9 and 13, and therefore be thou not curious of how the ungodly shall be punished, and but inquire how the righteous shall be saved,
right?
Who the world is, and for whom the world is created.
Right. So inquire about how the righteous shall be saved, for whom the world is, and whom the world is created. So at the end of the day, like I said, yeah, that's prophecy. Yeah, we speak about, we're heavy on prophecy because that's what it's all about, you know. But what's happening in Israel right now, that's also biblical prophecy. But that's not gonna start. There's not gonna be no nukes launched off until they actually fully implement. To try to fully implement everyone that get the MOTB under their right hand or in their forehead. So as of right now, what's happening in Israel, that's just the Lord showing His hand. That's pretty much the Lord making a chess move, showing you that, yo, I'm stirring up everyone on earth. I'm gonna stir everything up. It's crazy though how the Lord had 3 earthquakes set within the span of 24 hours on 3 different continents. And then you had the bombing in Israel, all the nations coming down to the valley of Jehoshaphat. You know what I'm saying? You got people out here saying that the Lord got many names. I mean, there's so much going on in the spirit that we gotta constantly be in defense of, man. You know, so it's much more than just coming out here preaching. We also gotta live it. We also gotta be in defense of the gospel. Because remember, discipline requires you to be at your absolute best when no one's watching. All right, everybody want to watch the championship, but you wasn't with me in the gym making free throws. So with that being said, we want to give all honor, glory, and praises to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahushai, by Hashem, Fakadash. Double on the side elders like great millstone taught us the truth. Singing honors to the elect. Peace and blessings to the 1/3. And peace and blessings to the confusion faces in the four corners on the earth. Walk love of all. Shalom.
So,
That's right.